In a world of pristine velvet cushions and perfectly placed sunbeams, there lived a king. His name was Marley, a magnificent Maine Coon, and the Henderson house was his kingdom. Every rug was in its place, every water bowl was his alone. His life was a symphony of quiet, elegant order. But one day, the symphony was interrupted by a cymbal crash of pure chaos. Meet Chewie, a scruffy, perpetually optimistic terrier mix, fresh from the shelter and bursting with chaotic joy. He didn't just enter Marley's kingdom, he exploded into it. He slipped on rugs, slobbered in water bowls, and worst of all, he tried to befriend the king. To Marley, this wasn't a new friend. It was a barbarian at the gates. And thus began the great Cold War of the Henderson household. The battle lines were drawn literally. Marley clawed a line into the carpet, a furry Berlin Wall separating his regal peace from Chewie's clumsy affection. Marley watched from his high-perched throne atop the refrigerator as Chewie, bless his heart, tried his best. He chewed on baseboards, he barked at squirrels, he shredded curtains in his excitement. He was a lovable disaster, and that disaster was putting the entire family at risk. One day, Marley overheard the dreaded words. The landlord had called noise complaints. Damage. The family might have to move. Or worse, find a quieter home for Chewie. He watched as Sophie, their human, cried, her heart breaking at the thought of losing her new best friend. Chewie, seeing her tears, went to comfort her, and for the first time, Marley saw something other than an annoying invader. He saw a member of his family in pain. The truce was unspoken. It began with a squeaky toy, a peace offering from Chewie, nudged across the line in the carpet. Marley, intrigued despite himself, gave it a tentative pat. Squeak. He jumped back, then batted it again. A tiny, almost imperceptible sound of amusement escaped him. A fragile bridge was forming between the two rivals. The real test came with the ring of a doorbell. Chewie, ever the valiant defender, went into a frenzy. But his leash got caught. Pulling a table and sending a precious glass figurina, memory of Sophie's mom teetering on the edge. Time froze. In that moment, Marley wasn't a proud king. He was a protector. He launched himself across the room, a streak of fur and desperation, body slamming the figurine to safety just as it was about to fall. They stared at each other, panting, a new understanding passing between them. The war was over. The alliance had begun. What followed was one of the most unlikely training montages ever seen. Marley became Chewie's reluctant sensei. When Chewie wanted to bark at a squirrel, a calm paw on the snout taught him the art of silence. At dinner, Marley's patient example taught Chewie manners. He even taught the hyperactive dog the profound beauty of a shared nap in a sunbeam. They became a team. When the grumpy downstairs neighbor came to complain, Chewie, with a nod from Marley, sat calmly and offered a single, polite woof. The neighbor was stunned and charmed. A month later, the frantic calls from the landlord had stopped. The lease was renewed. The line in the carpet was gone. In its place, curled up in the big armchair, were a cat and a dog. Chewie's head rested on Marley's fluffy back, a single unit of peace. They weren't just a cat and a dog anymore. They were brothers. Sophie looked at them, her heart full, whispering, "My family," because sometimes family isn't just about who you're born with. It's about the chaotic, clumsy, wonderful creatures you choose to protect. Thank you so much for watching. If you loved this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.